As a mechanical engineer, I'm a very analytical person. For a long time, I loved understanding how mechanical systems works. The more I studied, the more I understood, the more I realized that they couldn't explain the most important part of being human. So intellect was not able to cover everything. So there should have been something more to it, deeper. Hi, I'm Anil Tanaverdi. I'm a certified consciousness advisor. I help people to understand how consciousness shapes their experience of life and how developing it leads to a greater clarity, health, and joy. Human body from a mechanical engineer perspective is a masterpiece. The heart works like a perfectly designed pump, our blood and veins works like a hydraulic system, and our nervous system works as network systems. Machines can imitate the senses through sensors, and intellect can explain certain structures, but none of them can explain the mystery of experience. Can machine feel meaning or joy? And what makes us different than machines? These questions led me to consciousness. So let me take you through today what consciousness is, why it's important, and how we can develop it. So, what is consciousness really? Consciousness is the capacity to experience. Without consciousness, we cannot feel, we cannot experience. Consciousness is fundamental, it is primary. Now that you are aware of your body, your thoughts, and your surroundings, the simple fact of being aware is consciousness. So we live life through this awareness filter. The same world happens to everyone, but it's perceived differently depending on the inner receiver we have. So talking about the receiver, let's think about a radio metaphor. Consciousness has two aspects. First is physical, which we can sense, and the second one is the non-physical, which we cannot sense. It is beyond our senses. So the radio kicks in here. Radio has the hardware, the antenna, speaker, buttons. This is the physical side of it. You can think of it also as our physical body, our physiology. But the second element is the signal. So the signal, which we cannot see, we cannot feel directly. Radio doesn't create the signal. It just receives it from hundreds of different possibilities, different frequencies. Signal is always there, surrounding us, and like the higher state of pure consciousness, it is always there in our surroundings. What we hear depends on how well the radio is tuned. So, how well we are in tune with nature, with the pure consciousness, in another word. So, when the consciousness is disturbed, it is like a radio which is not in tune, like so. But once consciousness expands and the stress is released, the static reduces and the life becomes more clear. Like so. So why consciousness is important? Consciousness is important because our quality of life depends on the quality of consciousness. The higher our awareness, the more options we perceive and receive. So we understood now what consciousness is and why it matters, and let's talk now about how we can improve it, how we can develop it. So consciousness is developed and improved by experiencing. Human nature would like to know more, experience more, and throughout the day we experience three different stages of consciousness: waking, sleeping, and dreaming. Researchers show that there is a fourth state of consciousness, which is called transcendental consciousness. So in this state of consciousness, the mind settles and the nervous system releases stress. And we can develop our consciousness through transcendental meditation technique, which is very simple and effective technique, which I am also applying. It is only twice a day, 20 minutes. So now we covered a lot. Let me maybe recap what we have been discussing so far. Consciousness is primary. We cannot feel, we cannot experience anything without it. The quality of our life depends on the level of our consciousness, in which consciousness state we are living in. And consciousness can be experienced directly and can be developed through simple and practical systems. Machines evolve through software and hardware upgrades, but human evolve through developing consciousness. So this is the real upgrade. I'm more than happy now to listen to you, what matters to you right now, and how I can help you throughout your journey of personal upgrade.